everyone, this is Deepa here. I am back with my second FB Live. And if I'm back with a second FB Live, it actually means that I love doing it. And I'm here again, so you're going to see me more often. I hope that's good news for some of you. And I'm hoping that with my FB Lives, I'm going to add a lot of value to the people who hear me live or the people who look at my videos a little later. So um, a quick introduction about myself. I'm Deepa Chandrasekharan. I am the founder and CEO of Engage to Transform. I'm a career transformation coach, and in this role, what I essentially do is I help mid-level corporate leaders build a career that they absolutely love, a career which matches their potential and to which they are excited every day about. So they want to go and work, and as a process, as a result of which they are excited, they are happy, they are satisfied, they are fulfilled. So that's me, that's what I do, and I enjoy doing it every second of my life. Great. So what we're talking about today is the second big mistake of why your career could be completely stalled, or what is the reason that you're not able to move forward in your career, right? So we're going to talk about the second mistake, but before I actually go there, let me take a minute or two to talk about our last, the first big mistake, the big mistake that I spoke about in my last conversation with you all. So what was that big mistake? So the big mistake, the first big mistake that all of us make, or most of us make, is this is not the right time, right? So we keep telling that to ourselves that this is not the right time, and we actually keep saying that to ourselves in all aspects of our life. So let's take an example. For example, for the people who have joined in just now, we're talking about, what is the first big mistake before we move to the second big mistake of why our careers could be stalled and why we are not moving forward. So the first big mistake is this is not the right time. And let's take health an example. So I know that I'm putting on weight. I know that I need to get better in doing regular exercising or going for that 10-minute walk after meal or just controlling the diet that I'm taking in right now. I know I have to do that. But we keep telling ourselves the reasons and the excuses of why today is not the right day. Oh, the weather is beautiful. I need to have pakoras and that cup of chai. Or that, I don't have anybody, so I just feel like sleeping a little bit more and probably I will start jogging tomorrow. Or, this food is so yummy, I haven't had this for a long time, so let me just go and enjoy myself today, and probably from tomorrow I'll start dieting or I'll go for that extra jog or whatever it is, right? So this is not the right time. Let's look at career as an example. So in career, I know people who are very, very unhappy in their job. They just don't get along with their boss. The organization is not giving them opportunities to grow. They just find themselves stuck and stagnated, but they keep telling themselves, this is not the right time, the market is not good, there are no jobs in the market, I have appeared for the interviews, it's not happening, this is probably not the right time. So I need to wait for some more time, and then probably I'll try it later, right? So that's what is happening. And if you're there, just say a hi so that I know who's with me right now, and feel free to drop in your comments if you have any questions or anything. So okay, so getting back to the first big mistake, which is this is not the right time. And trust me, if you're using this sentence in one aspect of your life, it's going to have an impact in all the other areas of your life. It is not possible for you to be a well-disciplined professional, absolutely amazing, doing things on time in one aspect, and then not doing anything in the other. You are one individual. And we all know that if we do well in one aspect, it actually impacts all the other areas. And if we don't do it, then also it has an impact. So that was the first big mistake of this is not the right time to invest in myself, to take that great job, to apply for a job, to work with a coach, to spend time with my family, to go for that dream vacation, anything. This is not the right time, right? Now let's assume that you have figured out a way to address that problem, and you have said to yourself, okay, this is probably the right time, so let me take some action. And now we come to what happens then, right? What is the second big mistake that most of us make, which could be stopping us in our career? So before I tell you that second big mistake, I want to read a story to you, right? Now this is a book by Prakash Iyer called The Secret of Leadership. This is an amazing book, and if some of you are want to develop the habit of reading, well, reading is an habit which all of us should have, especially the leaders. Who are planning to grow in their career and who are planning to move ahead. Reading gives you a unique experience. It gives you a lot of exposure, and this is a good book to start with because this doesn't have long chapters and it's not like you have to read it from beginning to end. It has short stories, and you can just read one story a day, which is about 2 to 3 pages. So today I'm going to read a story to you, which is about life lessons from a baby giraffe, and then we will see how does this story relate to my second big mistake. So I thought I'll narrate the story, but then it is so beautifully written here that I didn't want to say it in my words. So it will take a minute, and we'll just read it. Okay. So life lessons from a baby giraffe. Now baby giraffes never go to school, but they learn a very important lesson rather early in life. A lesson that all of us would do well to remember. The birth of a baby giraffe is literally an earth-shaking event. The baby falls from its mother's womb some 8 feet above the ground. It shrivels up and lies still, too weak to move. The mother giraffe lovingly lowers its neck to kiss the baby giraffe. And then something incredible happens. It lifts one long leg and kicks the baby giraffe, sending it flying up in the air and tumbling down on the ground. As the baby lies curled up, the mother kicks the baby again and again until the baby giraffe, still trembling and tired, pushes its limbs and for the first time learns to stand on its feet. Happy to see the baby standing on its feet, the mother giraffe comes over and gives it yet another kick. The baby giraffe falls one more time, but now quickly recovers and stands up. Mother giraffe is delighted. It knows that its baby has learned an important lesson. No matter how hard you fail, always remember to pick yourself up and get back to your feet. Interesting story, right? And this relates to what I'm going to talk about and what is the second big mistake that we all make. So the second big mistake that I'm talking about today, it's interested versus committed. Yes, it's interested versus committed. Now, what does it mean? Well, all of us have heard these two words. So it's important for us to know how do these two words relate to our growth, relate to the career that we are in, and relate to our goals. Now let's look at mother giraffe for a minute, right? Now the baby giraffe was just born. It is very weak and it is just, curled up and lying and hoping probably that the mother giraffe is going to, to take care of it. But what mother giraffe does is, if it was interested that the baby giraffe should live their life, then it would just go kiss the giraffe and curl up and just love that giraffe, right? But the mother giraffe was committed to make sure that in the dangers of the world, in the jungle that the giraffe is going to grow up, in the perils of the environment that it was growing, it was important for the baby giraffe to find its feet. Because otherwise the other animals will come, kill it and eat its meat, right? So the mother giraffe is committed to make sure that the baby giraffe is safe. It's not interested. If it was interested, it wouldn't have taken action. It was committed. The mother giraffe is committed that she's going to make it happen no matter what. So as soon as the baby giraffe is born, she gives the baby giraffe huge kicks until the baby giraffe is able to get up. That is called commitment. That is called commitment to stay true to what you want to do until you accomplish your task. Right? So let's look at another interpretation of this story. And this was a beautiful interpretation that I would credit it to one of my clients. And we were having a session last weekend, and he started reading this book and he gave this beautiful interpretation. So I'm going to borrow it from him and narrate it to you all. So this interpretation is like, the baby giraffe is very comfortable in the womb of the mother, right? Everything is available. She doesn't have to go out, search for anything. They get their food and everything. So it's a very comfortable, familiar place. But imagine if the baby giraffe decides to continue there for a long time. What would happen? probably the baby giraffe would die, right? So what happens is at the right time, the mother giraffe gives birth to the baby giraffe, and that's how it comes to the world, right? Now, what happens to us? I compare the womb of the mother giraffe with the comfortable environment that we are all in, right? And I would not call it a comfortable environment, it is more like a familiar environment, right? It could be very, very discomfortable or uncomfortable. It could be very frustrating. It could be very irritating, and it could be something that we don't want to get into. But we know it. It's the familiar zone, right? So we want to be there because it provides us the security. It gives us the that safety zone, right? It gives us that safety zone. So all of us continue to be in that environment until somebody kicks us out, right? And that somebody could be in the form of a crisis. It could be in the form of a health. Health that you suffer. It could be a depression, or it could be a layoff that happens and you are asked to leave, right? Or it could be just a sudden realization that what am I doing here? I need to take some action and go out there. So all of us, at least 90% or 95% of the people that I meet, they take an action when they are in crisis. When the world around them has stumbled and there is no way out. That's the time when they decide to take an action. But my point is, why wait for that much time, right? And that is the difference between interested and committed. So let's look at interested. Interested is when I think I need to switch my job. Yeah, I know my boss sucks and I don't like working with him. Oh yeah, my salary is way below what others are getting, but it's okay. I am surviving. I am able to take care of my regular expenses. So I'm going to stay here until something happens. What's the big deal, right? So that's the interested part where I'm interested. If a job comes my way, I'll take it, and it's okay. Otherwise, I am where I am. So that's the interested. I would love a better job. I would love a better salary. I would love a better workplace environment. But then that's okay. I'm fine where I am. Now let's look at committed. So committed is where, it's a commitment. For example, I set up this event yesterday and that was a commitment. I'm not going to go back on it, right? Whatever happens, whatever else I need to do through the day, I need to be here at 7 o'clock because there's an event that I have promised. And I have committed my viewers that I'm going to be live. So that is commitment. Commitment is when there is no way out. Commitment is when there are no excuses, there are no blame games, there is no, that the environment is like this, or the people are like that, or that person is a problem, or that situation is a problem, or my job, nothing doing. Then you take control and you are committed and you will do whatever it takes until you win, right? You don't give up until you reach your goal. That is called commitment. So now I want you to look at what you are doing and see if you are just being interested in certain goals that you have, or you are really committed to make it happen. And this could be in your health, it could be relationships, it could be your finance, it could be your career, it could be the vacations that you've always wanted to take. So do you talk in a language which is, yeah, I'm interested, or do you actually commit to those goals? Okay. Now, how do you know if you're working out of the interest zone or the committed zone? Well, it's very, very simple. Look around you. Look at the results that you're getting. If the results are aligned to what you want, absolutely, you're committed and you are working towards that. If there is, if you're not happy with your results and you're not getting what you are expecting in life, then there is definitely a room for improvement and you're operating from the interest zone. Okay, so I call them the interest zone and the commitment zone. Now, the second way that you can know whether you are working in the interest zone or the committed zone is when you monitor the talk, the self-talk, right? So when something uncomfortable happens or when a challenge comes your way, while you're working towards your goals, do you stop or do you keep moving? If you stop and you look for a reason outside of you for that event or for that circumstance, then you are just interested. You're working out of the interest zone. But if you decide to get up again, right, and work towards it, then you are operating out of the commitment zone. So there are two ways to know it. One, look at the results that you have, and then second, monitor your self-talk. Monitor what you tell yourself when something challenging happens, right? Now, So what can we do about it? And I again have notes, so I'm going to make sure that I am covering uh, what I plan to cover in this slide. Now, why do people operate from an interest zone? One of the biggest reasons why people operate from an interest zone is because they have no clarity of their goals. Right? Everybody wants to move to their dream career. Everybody wants to manifest their dream career, but they have no clue of what that dream career is. They have a very vague idea, but no clarity. So one of the reasons why people stay in that interest zone and not move to that commitment zone is lack of clarity of what do they want. And if you hear all great leaders, and if you hear Tony Robbins or Brian Tracy and Jack Canfield, they all say that having goals is critical to meeting your goals. So have a very clear vision of what your dream career looks like. That is the first step, right? In the absence of that, you will continue to operate from your interest zone. The second, like I said, you are absolutely secure in your familiar zone. You are comfortable, it's safe, nobody is telling you anything, and you are operating to meet your day-to-day expenses. You know people around you, however uncomfortable that is. You know how to survive in that environment, right? So you are secure and you want to stay there. So that's another reason why most of us operate from the interest zone. And the third reason is that we've gotten so used to being in the survival state. We just want to take care of the necessities of life. As long as we have a good house to live in, we have a good bank balance, our kids are going to school, we have food on the table, that's fine. What else is there to live for? So if you're living in that state of mind and everything around you is then not necessary, so you are happy being in that interest zone because you don't have ambitions, you don't have you don't have those goals, and you are saying, yeah, that's fine, I think this is okay, my parents live like that, so I'm going to live like that, right? So these are the three big reasons of why people don't move from interest zone to the commitment zone. Now if we come to what do you need to do, well, you need to do just the opposite. One, you have to decide. You have to decide that I'm going to do it irrespective what. This is the best time. Now is the best time, and I'm going to kick myself out of that comfort zone before somebody else kicks me. Right? So take a decision. Take a decision to move towards a commitment zone. The second important thing is once you take a decision, decide what you want. Have absolute clarity of what does your dream career look like. What is the job that you want? What is the JD that inspires you? What kind of organizations do you want to work for? What is the role that you want to get into? Stretch yourself. Create that plan for yourself. And the third biggest thing, nothing happens if you don't do this, is take action. You have to take action, because if you don't take action, nothing is going to move. You're going to be standing and running on your treadmill and wondering, why am I not moving forward? Right? So this is the second big mistake where people are oscillating between interest zone and commitment zone. If you really want to create your dream career, if you really want to move towards that job that you've always aspired for, if you want to get through those certifications and those roadblocks and the procrastination and all of those things, then you need to decide. Decide, make a commitment, get clarity on what you want and take action. And I'm sure that you'll be able to move towards your goals. Thank you so much for staying with me, for listening to me, and feel free to drop me a comment on my group or just a response to this video, and I'll be happy to know what has worked for you. And if you need to hear about anything specific in my upcoming lives, just ping me, and tell me, and I'll be happy to do it for you. Thank you so much and wish you all the best. Bye bye. Stay safe. God bless.